Morning, welcome to the Matchday Breakfast Show here on Back of the Net. As the Cherries this evening look to keep up the momentum at the top of the Championship against Reading. My name is Sam Davis.
And I'm Morgan Scott.
And unlike the last live show that we did here on the channel, I hope there's no jokes about the Royals this morning, Morgan, are there?
Well, there usually wouldn't, but it does feel like I'm working alongside a princess.
Oh, harsh, mate. That's unbelievable, but all the same time, very good. Was that prepared? It's almost like that was prepared. Anyway, I was going to hark back to their old nickname, which, as we know, is the Biscuit Men, and I was going to refer to crumbling and hobnobbing with you all later, and a fair few more that I can't even remember now, but I'll save them for full time. Hey, so what have we got on today's show? Well, we're playing live on Sky tonight at 8 o'clock. If you're going up to the Madstad or the Select Car Leasing Stadium, make sure you drive up safely. And we're going to be taking in on this show Parker's presser. We're going to also have a closer eye at our opposition as well. Plus, we'll go through the pubs and predictions for tonight. I won't tell you where we're going, but I'll give a sort of overview, because then hopefully it spreads them out a bit. We don't want another Bristol debacle, do we? We'll also choose the all-important starting 11. And if you want to take part, the drill is the same as ever. Just beneath my face, you can see the link to go to. It's afcbpodcast.com/take part. Morgan, I'm sure, is going to be back very, very shortly. But we're going to get started, and it's all about Parker's presser. And Morgan, Scott Parker, he had his presser on Thursday afternoon. What was the gist of it, buddy?
So he Randall from AFCB TV kicked off by asking about an injury roll call. Junior Stanislav will miss tonight's game against Reading due to the fact that he's got a slight issue he alluded to, but the fact that it was a slight issue rather than the diagnosis of the injury must be a good thing. He also confirmed that Lewis Cook completed his second 90 minutes since suffering that ACL injury earlier last year. So that was excellent to hear, and he is now in contention to be back around the first team squad. He has been for several weeks, but I reckon it's a matter of time before Scott Parker's got a decision to select him to either his bench to begin with or straight into the team. But obviously it's a great option to have, considering how well we've been playing.
Yeah, it's a shame about Junior Stanislas, but great to have Lewis Cook back in the fold, Morgan. And you're sort of thinking about it now, thinking, "Wow, what a rich of option." We've got so many options in that midfield, haven't we? Certainly in that defensive midfield position. It's when he's fully fit, we know what kind of player he can be, and with the likes of Jeff Lerma that can play there, Ben Pearson and Gav Kilkenny, Scott Parker must be having migraines at night, surely.
Migraines, a bit like Josh Kim when he used to have them. No, I think
yeah.
I think that it's a really good option. Or the fact that we got people like Emi Monconda sat on our bench, like I know he got some game time with Lewis Cook and even Nyland. I don't know if you saw Sam earlier in the week against Southampton, but I think the fact that Emi Monconda is just sat on our bench, like I think Neil was alluding to the fact that he was doing on, like, against West Brom and in some of the warm-up games against Norwich and Chelsea. I think it was just like really, really exciting to see what Emi Monconda is like, and he's been such a fan favourite on social media and stuff. So in a way, it's kind of a shame that he's not getting this opportunity. But at the moment, we got a very, very good squad, and if you're not performing at the best level, you're not getting in the team. And I think I like that about Scott Parker. Like, Eddie Howe was always very loyal, and it would take quite a lot to maybe take someone out and make a decision. I think with Scott Parker, he's got that bravery, and I think that's maybe what Bournemouth needed. We all knew that we were going to have to, although Eddie Howe was a legend of our club and we were always respecting him and whatever, we had to rebuild our squad at one point, and I think now we're starting to get to that next, like, Bournemouth generation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Very interesting. There you can see Ben Pearson and Emmy talking to each other in the gallery picks. We will show a few of those. And of course, you can see the full gallery on afcb.co.uk. Just go through the news section. So who we've got on chat at the moment? We've got Chris Hubble, of course. We got Rob Wells as well. Good morning. We got Russell Langdown here. Mike Irwin from the States. Fair play to you. Who else we got, Morgan?
Aaron, hey, morning. I'm sure we'll see him up in Reading. Good morning to Tom. Aaron says, run for Reading. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we'll be running all the way there. No, I'm only joking. Liam says, good morning. Who else have we got there, Sam? Heather says, good morning. Sammy, morning.
And also, I mean, there's a whole. I'm choking myself to death here. I'm trying to get some water down me. We got Billy Day here as well. Love it. We got Rob there as well. Heather's loving the princess. East Coast Brian, hello mate. Hope you're doing all right. Nice to see you all. Later on, we'll be asking for your predictions. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting game today. Lewis Cook, as you said, he's played a couple of full 90s for the development squad. They played on Tuesday against Wickham, which is really, really good. He said that Lewis came through it really well. That's 2 bouts of 90 minutes now. He's ready, and I've liked what I've seen from Lewis. Of course, the challenge will be for him now to battle his way into the team in the squad, and I've no doubt that he can do that because he's got big quality. He's ready now. I'm sure he won't be in the starting team today, but he might be on the bench. I mean, wow, that's absolutely huge for us. Right, we'll say some more hellos, but remember, if you want to get on chat, you can do so today. Before we go to the opposition view, it's only right that we bring in James Reed, this fella here. Looking all dark in his bedroom with his backlit. I love it, mate. How are you? You're right.
Yeah.
Good, my friend. Top of the league. We're going to stay there tonight after playing Reading because we've got such a gap. How are we going to do tonight, mate? Are we going to win?
Yeah.
He's gone for a thumbs up. And in chat, I'm seeing it's a 2-1. A 2-1. Do you think Dom Solanke's going to get on the score sheet again, James?
Yeah.
Yes. And who else? Who else do you think is going to score apart from Dom Solanke? Let us know, buddy. Chris Mepham has gone for. Wow. Well, you know what? If that happens, mate, that would be pretty good. And I'm sure people who've got some bets on will be earning big money for that. James, thanks very much, mate. We're going to get through as many people as we can today. Appreciate you coming on in the dark there. And yeah, I know that you're going to be doing some kind of stream. So if you follow James on Twitter, then I'm sure he'll be putting details of his stream up. So cheers, James. Up the cherries, mate. Up the cherries. What a guy. Right. I think it's time to get some opposition view, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we do that, though, let's bring in the big man, the big dog, Billy Day. Hello, mate. You
right? Morning, lads. How are we all doing?
Yeah, good, mate.
Well,
good. You're wearing your green shirt. Are we playing in green today, or
we're not? I believe we are playing in the home shirt today, which I haven't got that one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. It's like myself. I'm feeling really bright today, but I'm looking outside, and it's really rainy today here in London. But hopefully we'll have a nice wet pitch on, but it'll be a nice warm night. Well, I say that it's November.
Yeah, it'll be mild. And look, they're a team that are I wouldn't say they're our bogey side, but last season they certainly were. I mean, that match live on Sky on the Friday night, we were all excited about it, and then we absolutely capitulated. I think it was 3-0 to the Royals at half time before we managed to pull one back through Junior Stanislas. And, you know, look, their form's bad. Well, you know what? No, it's not. It was all right. It's a little bit patchy at the moment. Ours is obviously very good. We're first, they're 13th or whatever. It all points to a Bournemouth win, but we know, Billy, it's not that simple, is it?
This is the Championship. I've always said the Championship is the best league in the world. You can never predict results. And I think what we look at today is like, I'll take a draw, if I'm honest. I feel if we win, it's going to be historic, really, because we've got a fairly decent rivalry with Reading. So, you know, if we do it that on a Friday night, you know, we've done it against the Scummers. If we do it tonight, that'll be fantastic. So, yeah, no, it's all positives. But if we lose, then we've got to keep our heads high. We know we'll still be top. We know Fulham are playing West Brom, so if they even draw or one of them win, we know we'll still be clear at the top. So we've got to take it, whatever the result we take, is a positive.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we want to see a decent performance today, Morgan. At the start of the season, whilst we were getting a few results, I felt as though our performance levels weren't up there. But you've got to say that you can now see this kind of controlled style from Scott Parker. So even when we're not performing to the levels that we can be, we're so solid in defence, and we do seem to have control of the game, and that's shown by the amount of possession we have. But so now I'm not so worried about the performances these days. If we do put in a brilliant performance like at Bristol City, etc., fantastic. However, now you're sort of seeing a different style to Bournemouth, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. We were saying at half time at Stoke, weren't we, how flat it was and how off the pedal we were in the first half. And you said to me, we might come away with nothing. And, yes, okay, Solanke should have buried a second. And we still got the 3 points. We still won 1-0 at a half place to go on a Tuesday night in Stoke. But I think at the moment, you used the word controlled. We're being so professional the way we're seeing out games. Like the game the other night on Saturday against Huddersfield when we won 3-0. Like it was, they didn't create many opportunities. I think they had 3 touches within the 18-yard box or something the whole game, which is fantastic achievement, really. But I think what you have to remember is, sometimes, you went a goal down at Sheffield and we showed great character, and within a few minutes we were back winning 2-1. So I think we got so much about us and we're so controlled. I'm not worried at all about tonight. I think we're going to go there and we're going to deliver. And even if it's an average performance, I still back us to win. It's just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is incredible. So what a great start to the season it's been for Bournemouth. After 14 games and with 10 wins and 4 draws, we're sitting at the top of the Championship with 34 points, 5 points more than Fulham, who are in second. Last season, wind back, and Reading were the pacemakers, weren't they? After 8 games, they were 7 points clear at the top of the Championship after 7 wins and a draw. Yeah, they had 22 points, but they sort of had a fall from grace thereafter. We managed to beat them 4-2 after they went 2-0 up at half time, and Lewis Cook actually scored the goal to make it 3-2 in that one. Their manager is Paunovic, and this is his second season at the club. They've signed 6 players, 3 free transfers and 3 on loan. And this season, well, yeah, they've been doing okay, but a lot of their fans do expect more. There is Paunovic, as you can see on screen at the moment. One of their free signings is Scott Dan from Crystal Palace, which to Bournemouth fans is a name that is probably in the same tier list as Raheem Sterling, Charlie Austin. There are a number of players like that always seem to score against us. So let's just hope that doesn't happen today. But amongst a number of players who have left the club is actually 19-year-old midfielder Mikel Olisa, who is their highest player in terms of assists last season with 12, and he was also their 3rd highest scorer as well with 7. But he joined Crystal Palace for a reported £8 million. So you know what? They are relatively light up front. They're not so great at the back, but their strength is in midfield. And we're going to find out a little bit more about their strengths a bit later on. Billy, though, before you go, mate, prediction?
Yeah.
Go on.
You know what? I'm going to go. We always seem to win 3-1 for a Friday night, so I'm going to go 3-1. Solanke brace, and I'm going to go Jack Stacey to score.
Jack Stacey, superb. And when Jack Stacey's played, though, we've never conceded yet. So this would be a stat breaker tonight, because this season he's not conceded. But you know what? If he's scoring, I'm happy with that. He bombs forward, and he's now that replacement, to Adam Smith, that we was a bit unsure of him at the Peterborough game, but he's made that position his own. And Smithy Smudge is going to find it very difficult to get back into that squad, that team, I'm sure. Billy, thanks very much. Are you going today?
Yeah, I am. It's a short trip for me, finally, for once. So literally just down the M4 a little bit. Nice. So it'll be a nice I'll get the train, so it'd be quite nice that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think there's a few junctions that are closed actually on the M4 at the moment. So if you're driving, be
yeah, literally
coming from London by Slough, is it?
Well, what I'll do is I can get a direct tube train to Paddington, and then out of Paddington straight to Reading.
Love it. Love the travel planning, mate. I'll be outside the ground afterwards if you want to chat. Hopefully it'll be a celebratory one, buddy.
I might not have time. I might have to get straight back because the trains are very late at the time.
Yeah,
so I have to get straight back to London. So if I don't see you, then up the Cherries. That's all I've got to say, really.
Cool. And because it's a bit of a walk from the train station, isn't it? So
I believe there's a bus service.
Yeah, there is.
that fans can pay. It's like £4 for a return or something like that.
Mate, do you want to be our regular travel correspondent? You seem to know everything. I love
Honestly,
it.
yeah, travel was my thing. So yeah, definitely.
Top man, Billy, cheers for coming on, buddy.
Take care. See you, Sam. See you, Morgan.
Yeah.
See you later. Take care. And also, we've got a regular from the post-match free-for-alls at Dean Court. We got Alec here as well. Hello, buddy.
everyone.
How you doing?
You good? Yeah.
Very good, mate. I'm loving that selection of shirts you've got.
Yeah, they're my three, lucky three. I love them to bits.
Absolutely superb. We've got Steve Cook, Gary Cahill there. Oh my God, which match is that from?
Gary Cahill, that was the Peterborough 0-0.
Yeah.
Ramsdale, that was. Do you remember the Norwich 1-0 where Steve Cook handballed it?
Yeah. I do remember.
And then we got Steve Cook, that was Burnley 2-1. I think there was this year we came 9th. It was the last game of the season.
Now, I notice you've got one of these bad boys
Yes.
behind you as well. Let's hope you're never going to ever need to change that top line, mate, because it says number one in the league at the moment, UTC IAD. But Alec, how are you feeling about today's game, mate?
I'm buzzing. I mean, Lewis Cook's back. Last time I remember him playing against Reading, he scored a beauty. I mean, it might be the last minutes of Marcondes till we get the FA Cup, which is a bit sad because will Brady be fit for it or
who knows? Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we don't know just yet, but yeah, I mean, you could be right about that. But I mean, you are confident though, yeah, about tonight.
I mean, we have to be. This is the best start we've had in like 50 years, 60 years. We got to be confident with this.
If you were a Reading fan, who would you be worried about tonight on the Bournemouth side?
Oh, good question. Zamura and Anthony. Zamura, Anthony, Billing. The left flank is deadly for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you got a prediction for tonight?
I mean, I would say 2-1, but our clean sheets have just been piling up, so 0-2 to us.
0-2. Morgan, do you think he could be right?
I think he's got a good chance of being right. To be honest with you, I think 2-0 on a Saturday night away at Reading. I think we would take that all day long. So yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and how much do you know about Reading, Morgan? Do you know many of their threats at all? Because apparently John Swift is someone that we should be keeping our eye on because he can be deadly up front.
Yeah, I think he's got quite a lot. I think he's got like 8 goals and quite a lot of assists this season so far. So yeah, we're going to have to be wary about him. But I think Kelly, with how monstrous. Do you remember that against Huddersfield last weekend where Cahill got himself in a bit of a mare and then Kelly went all the way around to cover him and showed him the 40-yard line and we escaped. And it was this is where like we need moments in the game. It's about factors. Yes, we're great in the final third and we're always gonna score goals because we're just creating so many opportunities. However, defensively at times you don't want to be letting in goal because that could become one, that could become 2, and then clean sheet could be a factor at the end of the season to depend if we go up automatically or if we have to go through the nitty-gritty playoffs. So it's all important, but I reckon John Swift, try and cause us problems, and they probably have nothing to lose. They're the home team. What you have to remember, Bournemouth got loads of confidence under Scotty Parker, but when you go away from home, you haven't got your 4 fan. We're taking 2, and someone put it on chat a minute ago. How many have we taken? I just had a look. We're taking 2,000, 2,207, which is okay for an away day, but they're going to have ultimately more fans. So if they're anything like good fan, they're going to be creating a lot more noise. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I reckon what he said there, not a bad effort.
And that is John Swift. And Alec, if your prediction comes off, we'll be happy. Are you going today?
I would be, no, but it's quite local for me because I'm a Watford person. But it's on Sky, so no, I'm just going to watch on Sky.
What must it be like, mate, being a Bournemouth fan in Watford? That's not easy, surely.
No, there's luckily there's a road near me which is populated with Bournemouth fans. It's near a chippy. Yeah. But I mean it's a bit weird. But we move.
Well, when they go down and we go up, maybe you can stand outside their stadium and invent a T-shirt like they did, mate. Not that that's sad or anything, but
I'm already planning that. I'm already planning it.
I love it. Alec, thanks for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
Right. There's a certain fan that's got a time machine, and he goes forward into time. So he's already been to Reading at 10 p.m. So he knows the score now. So we need to find out what what he thinks. It's Marky Masters. Hello, Marky.
I've done it, boys. I'll tell you what the score was in a bit. Why we got to ruin it, though, by talking about Watford, eh? Well, we got to bring it. You don't want to talk about Watford because I'm going to be there with me. Local man is please shirt in the Watford shirt, and they can watch it. They gave us loads on Twitter when we talked about that at the start of the season.
I'll tell you what, though, fair play to Josh King, though. I mean, I don't know if I'm a fan of him or not, but fair play. He did really well for Watford where they smashed Everton last week. So they're going great guns. So maybe if we could get promoted, they will be our stable mates again in the Premier League once more. But you know what? It's going pretty well this season, Marky. Almost too well. At what point do we slip up? Is that going to be today?
And I will come on to that. Bit when you asked that interesting question. Was that banana skin there? I mean, it bloody wasn't. It wasn't there. If I'm talking from the future, my friend. Can I also just say, Morgan? So you got a job interview today?
I have in a couple of hours' time. Yeah.
Then I'm sending you the best of luck with what's just around the corner at lunchtime. So I hope it's an awesome day. But I remember many years ago, don't follow this. So I remember years ago, I was in an interview and someone said to me, the HR director said, listen, Mark, listen, I hope you win the interview and everything else. How much do you want this job out of 10? How much would you like this job? And I remember looking in the eye and said, 6 out of 10. Didn't get the job. Another one I can remember, they were looking at my CV. It was like a group thing. Right. And I was told in the group, and they said, oh, look, I see in your CV, you play a lot of football. And who do you support? And I said, my wife and kids. Didn't get the job. They never make these mistakes that have happened over the year, Morgan. And this positive energy that's coming into you, my friend, this morning bodes well for a nice evening.
Very good. I love it.
It must be like, how are you so bright and bushy-tailed in the morning, Mark? I mean, like, what's your secret? What is your secret?
I love the fact it's like, where does this vim and vigor come from? Yeah. For a man of your age to have a spring in your step. I'll tell you what, Sam. I'll tell you what, Morgan. It's being here with you, and it's being with everyone on YouTube. Do you know what? I did a bit of exercise this morning. I haven't had my breakfast yet. Listen, it's nice coming on here and chatting to you guys and seeing everyone chatting and the text and everything else.
I think what it does today, Marky, is I think it's fantastic that you got the energy, and I love your passion for AFC Bournemouth and everything about you, because I think it shows sometimes in life things might always not be going well, but you come on and you always stay positive, and I like the energy that you bring to the show. And I think, Sam, it's always nice to sit here like when we're half asleep and we got someone like Marky who can just sit here and be so energetic. It's brilliant, ain't it, really?
Well, that's really kind of you, and sometimes there are far better people that can talk about the game, the tactics, and everything else. So you're right. Tommy Heffernan's poodle there doesn't like the red one. Get out! It's like no one's got up in our house yet, so I've got kids walking about behind me. I love it. You're on living news. Everyone can see that
live on YouTube. Yeah, put your clothes on. Come on. Anyway, so your time machine is a beautiful time machine, Mark. What last week? Spot on. 3-0. That's what you said.
Absolutely nailed it. It's easy to. It was easy to see. So this time,
go on.
Listen, we've been spoilt a lot. Reading hasn't been a nice. It was a dark place last season because that was a Friday evening game, wasn't it? When they smashed us up there, that was a real.
We were 3-0 down at half time, if I remember quite rightly.
Yeah.
What's the build up to? Was that obviously that was a pivotal moment in the season where just things were going wrong and we started losing. Even seeing people on here saying, "I just do not." Here's the thing: people were saying on here, "I just do not like the players anymore." And what a transition that has been, only in a matter of months, to saying, look, we like the players. I even feel sorry for Marcondes and everything he's on Twitter. I feel sorry for his outpouring and love he puts there on Twitter. Part of me just thinks, give him 10 minutes in goal at the end. Because he's always there and present and humble and nice, and everyone's changed. So Reading isn't a nice place to go to. Never has been, even all those years ago in the 90s. When we nearly got into the playoffs and it all just fell apart that last day of the season.
You know what? I think Neil Dawson on the Second Look show made an excellent point, which I clipped up and put on Twitter. Like the introduction of the youth, specifically, of course, Jaden Anthony, Gav Kilkenny, Jordan Zamora. Of course, Zeno Ibsen Rossi has had a bit of time as well. Like he said on the show, they don't feel as though they've got a divine right to play. So they feel as though they've got to earn their crust. Whereas last season, I felt as though the players just expected to be there. And that's why they weren't likable. And then when they didn't perform, and they almost thought they didn't have to perform. And I think when Dan Juma started to, turn on this, he's got a plethora of skills and pace and everything, like all that trickery. When he started to play, there was almost just a reliance, like, just give the ball to him. Whereas the rest of the team didn't seem to try. But nowadays, there's not an obvious star. I know that Dom Solanke scored as many goals that he has, but then Phil Bill's contributing, and the whole team is gelling really nicely. And there doesn't seem to be an iron team, this time round. And maybe it's the kind of mentality of the youth that's sort of fluctuating throughout the side. Maybe that's actually, reverberating, I should say, throughout the rest of the side, Mark.
I think that's a really good point in terms of the people that are part of it. We all have that kinship with and not necessarily a connection, but I like, even when you were chatting and there was Zamura's family that were there that game, all we had to cling on. Here's the thing, all we had to cling on last season was hearing Jonathan Woodgate say "up the Cherries" in an interview.
I know.
We had to cling on that, had that sense of fun and family. And now what's happening is that, from what you're obviously seeing when you're interviewing at the end of the game and all the stuff that's happening now, we don't want to lose this. We don't want to lose this spirit that's there. And from where we were saying there, the players had a divine right. And we're watching games last season when it was just falling apart, particularly that Reading Friday evening game. And then it just went worse and worse against Barnsley at home and things such as that, to this transition now that we're all in. Because, listen, it must be good for you, Morgan, and you, Sam, for doing this show when we're on this crest of a wave. Because wouldn't it be horrible doing this at breakfast time on a Saturday and someone's like giving it I want Christy out, I want it now, what's he doing here, getting his... There's none of that. It's just... Yeah. Do you like the impression, though?
Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Don't you, Morgan?
Absolutely. I think the difference is this season is we're watching people that are playing for it's a team effort. It's a team game. They're giving 110%. And I think I've got to say, Sam, if I may, I think that they're giving an extra 10, 20% in time in game for David Brooks. I think it's really, after, I know obviously we had a couple of away games, but I saw such a difference in that 7 minute at Dean Court when we were clapping in, and then we got the penalty. I could see that it expect the team to want to go and get more. We were playing all right, and then we stepped up to the next level, and if we can get behind the boys and do that again tonight, I think we'll come out of there quite comfortably again. And to be honest with you, it's a 9-point week. A game today, we got Wednesday, and then we got Saturday. I can't see that. I reckon this is the week where we have to try and just take it one game at a time. And I know that sounds maybe a bit naive in a way, but I think it's really important that we concentrate in the game in hand. Like Jonathan Woodgate said last year, and Scott Parker said this year, because you don't want to get too carried away.
Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree. People, Marky, are on tenterhooks, as is Aaron Kay. What's it going to be? What's it going to be, Marky?
Well, you're right, Aaron. And I did. And I had me quick tea. And I saw you knocking about as well in the Toby Carvery again. What is this thing? You're obviously a gold card member there, Sam. Doesn't matter. Anyhow, we went. We saw it. Do you know what the score was, everyone?
Go on.
It was 2-0! It was 2-0, boys! We did it again! Get in!
Marky Masters, thank you so much. Love it.
Have a good Saturday, everyone. Don't forget the clocks go back, and best of luck with your interview today, Morgan. Hope you smash it.
Man. Thanks very much for your time, Marky. Cheers.
What a man. What a man. The tremendous trio. Thank you very much for that. What are our head-to-head stats then against Reading? I tell you what, we've played them a number of times, of course. We used to be in the same division for a long time. In all our league games away at Reading, we've won 14, drawn 8 and lost 31. But overall, Bournemouth have the edge in all competitions. Won 45, drawn 24, lost 43. There are the stats for the last 5 games. And as you can see, Bournemouth are the favourites with the bookies, with everyone else, etc. Right, Rich Neal's coming in very shortly. But I tell you what, there is a YouTuber who covers championship football like no one else does. And he had his say on this fixture today. And his name is a certain Benjamin Bloom.
What can we say, really, guys? Bournemouth top of the table, undefeated after 14 games, 34 points already, 5 points clear. Bournemouth are indeed on fire. Miserly defence as well. Only 8 conceded in 14 so far. And this one had snuck up on me as well because they went 4 wins, draw, 4 wins. 8 wins in 9 games for Bournemouth. We normally... traditionally have said that an 8-game winning streak is pretty hard to not be finishing very high up the table. Tends to be the teams that with massive winning streaks of 7, 8, 9, even we had Aston Villa do 10 games in the 18-19 season, didn't we? Those type of winning streaks normally end up in promotions, don't they? So 8 wins in 9 is close to that. Can they get another one? Bournemouth, they play Reading, who are down in 13th, a little bit spotty of late, and back-to-back defeats for the Royals. They lost at Blackburn at the weekend, and they lost at home to Blackpool, having been 2-0 up. Listen, the table has Bournemouth winning this one. The form table has Bournemouth winning this one. The home and away table has Bournemouth winning this one. So I suspect we may get a few away wins on this one, but Reading, we know, have the technical quality in some of their forward players to really trouble certain teams. And look, they went to Fulham and won, didn't they? Ajaria scored twice. There's goals in that team, even if they're probably not going to have as much of the ball or as many chances.
Interesting. So are Bournemouth going to be winning this one, like he says? Shortly, we'll get your predictions. Make sure you subscribe to Benjamin Bloom's channel. Pubs and predictions is coming up next. But click the live chat. As you can see that I've put his link in there. Click it and go subscribe to Benjamin Bloom. Right, Rich Neal standing by. We need to find out the pubs. We need to find out the predictions. Let's get on it. We've got Rich Neal here. Hello.
Good morning. How are you both?
Very well,
good,
thank you.
mate. Not too bad. Looking forward to the game this evening.
Yeah, no, I am. Unfortunately, again, I've got to be here. But the good news is, as it's 8 o'clock, I can now watch it. So that's ideal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got 2 little munchkins that might jump in. There we go. There's one.
I'll tell you what. Can they give us some score predictions? I'd love to know what they think it's
Maybe.
going to be.
We might just shout. I don't know. We can try.
Yeah,
Jasmine, what's the score going to be later? Bournemouth. What's the Reds? Are they going to win? What's it going to be?
1-0, 2-0.
1-0, 2-0. No, I don't think you're going to get one.
All right. Well, you know
might
what?
do later.
Yeah, might do later. She's having.
She's going to win, though.
You know what?
She did say they're going to win.
I like the fact. I do like the fact that they're just not going for a prediction straight away. Obviously, trying to think it through. How do you think it's going to go today, Rich?
Well, I'm pretty confident today. So yeah, no, I'm going to go for a definite win. I think it will be a clean sheet as well today. So let's go 2 or 3. I think.
There's a local spice to this game, isn't there? Though there is some local spice to it, and even though the league positions are, we're far apart from them, they're going to want to try to get one over us, and we're just hoping that's not going to be a repeat of last time round, eh?
Yeah, no, I think the last couple of 2 or 3 games I've been thinking, is this the one? Is this the one? But we've managed them so well. I just think it's, I don't see any other result at the moment today apart from a win. So I think we've got it.
Bloody like this confidence, mate. Absolutely superb. Well, you know what, mate? You're not going today, but I'm pleased to say that I will be with you for one of the future away games. We won't tell them which, but it's going to be quite a raw away game, which probably
Tasty.
gives it away. So you're going to be heavily featuring in the Matchday vlog, I'm certain. Rich, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. And if you do get a scoreline out of your kids, let us know on chat.
Yeah, I will try my best. We'll see you later.
Cheers, Rich. Thank you very much.
Have a good trip and have a good interview, Morgan. You will smash it.
Cheers. Thank you.
Of course, he'll smash it. Cheers, Rich. Absolute legend. Right, what are your predictions? Get them in on chat now. We'll put them on screen. Morgan's going to go through them very, very shortly. But you're probably wondering whereabouts we need to go if we're going to have a drink together. Look, we're not going to name one pub, but we're going to name 4. Okay, we don't want a repeat of Bristol City, right? There you can see the Madstad on your screen there, and if you scroll in, you can see that there is a map pin there, which is at the Travelodge, and that's actually a pub called The World Turned Upside Down, which is a very popular pub for away fans. Look, Reading itself, a bit like Stoke, they've not got much around the stadium. Indeed, their official fans guide says there's no dedicated away pub, so that is one of them there. You've also got the Nag's Head, which is, there's a few in the centre of Reading. So that's on Russell Street, the Nag's Head, in RG1 territory. Also, you've got the Walkabout on Winston Terrace. Also, the 3 Guinea station approach near the railway station. Also, the Holiday Inn. That's probably the nearest place to the stadium. There's an Irish bar called McCaffrey's or something. Or I can't remember what it is. I'm not sure if it's named after James or what, but that's probably the nearest place to it. And make sure you get your parking organised ASAP if you haven't already. Just Park or Your Parking Space are a couple of apps you can go to find a driveway somewhere, because parking is at a premium. But looking forward to seeing you. If not, it will be inside the concourse. Morgan, and the predictions, it's good to see, are starting to come in now. So I think we should go through them, eh, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. Get them on screen. So we've got Carol saying 2-0 AFC Bournemouth. Great start. David's going for a 3-1 Cherries win. Up the Cherry, 4-0 to AFC Bournemouth. I like that. It's going to be an easy game, he quotes. Hubble, 2-0 to AFC Bournemouth. Stephen Clark says 2-1. Aaron Kay's going positive, 2-0 to Bournemouth. Maybe the other way round, it should say 0-2. But anyway, nevertheless, 2-0 to us. Yeah, I'll accept that. Cameron's going 2-1 to the Cherries. 4-0 to Damien. Katie says 2-0.
Oh, love it. Yeah, love that.
3-0 to Win. Sammy goes for the famous 3-1. Yeah, I think that was coming. Kevin goes with the Cherries to win 2-1. Yeah, I like that. James McCaffrey, Anthony and Billin, 2-0 away from home. I will take that any day. Nigel says 1-0 to the Cherries. We got any more here, Sam? Yeah, of course we have. 2-0. Oh, and Morgan lands the job. Yeah, I'll accept that. But thanks very much for that. Paul Kenwood, 2-1. Nice to have him on chat. Who else have we got? 4-0, Heather. Billin, of course. Lanky, Crispy, and I'm not sure who that said. But anyway, Daniel, 4-0. And Paul Kenwood, Noah says 5-0. I like the confidence there, don't you, Sam? Layla says 2-0 and Solanke and Christie finally to get his goal. Yeah, that would be really nice. That would set the day up in top pieces. Love the show. Thanks very much. We'll go for a 2-0 Cherry win.
Moldy Biscuit, 6-0 to the Cherries. The Biscuit Men, of course, if you missed the start of the show, that was their old nickname. 6-0 there. Surely not. Anyway, who else have we got then, Morgan?
We're going, Robert's going 2-0 to the Cherries as well. Chris is going 2-0 as well. We've got Mike here. Nice to see you, Mike. 3-0 to the Cherries as well.
And that's it. Those are your predictions. I tell you what, they're all fairly positive. Not a single person is going for a draw or a Reading win. So that is a positive sign for us then, isn't it, Morgan? I really should be asking you what your prediction is, mate. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to say 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0. I think we've got a lot of confidence. I'll back us to keep the clean sheet. I think Reading might offer something, but I reckon we'll have too much. We'll go a goal up and then we'll kill the game to bed again. So I'm going to go 2-0. Sam, what do you reckon today? Are you confident?
You know what? I am pretty confident about today, but I've got a feeling, I don't know. I mean, I would love it to be one of those real dominant performances, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. And I've got a feeling that Bournemouth will get a result today, and I'm going for a 2-1. Maybe that's a little bit pessimistic, you know, judging by the fact we don't concede goals. So maybe I'll go for a 2. You know what? I'll go for a 2-0 instead, Morgan.
I like that. You're backing me. One thing I would like to quickly mention. So we got 3 games in the space of a few days, and we said, I think Neil said that he would take 4 out of the 6 against Stoke and Bristol City. Now we're looking at out of the 3 games that we got, we can get 9 points. How many points do you think would be a good return from that? Obviously, it would be 9, but can you see us slipping up in any of them games?
It's difficult to say. What games are they again?
So we got obviously Reading today, Preston North End on Wednesday, and Swansea City on Saturday.
Preston are, you know what? They're not the team they were last season. I'd like to think we get 3 points against them. Match under the lights is a different kind of vibe around Dean Court, and notoriously as a crowd, we're always loud. So I'm going to go for a Bournemouth win there. Swansea, not too sure. I think we'd have enough. I mean, bloody hell, Morgan, if we manage to get 9 points out of these next 3, I mean, that's a huge statement. And you know what? Every win that we get between now and the start of December almost takes the pressure off that game against Fulham, doesn't it? Almost takes the pressure off.
Yeah, I think so. I think at some point we will have a bit what I call a lull spell. Every team will have it. That's not to sound negative. It just happens in football. It's a long season, 46 matches. You basically don't have much time off at all. There's not many time to get onto the training ground, especially on a 2-win. Swansea will be a tough one, I think, says Simon K. I think it'd be interesting. But yeah, so do you think 7 from 9? Or are you going to be confident?
7 for 9 if I'm feeling pessimistic, but I'm not having it, mate. 9 from 9.
No.
And I'm kicking off if we do anything other than that. JK up the Cherries is saying Invincibles. Well, to be Invincibles, I suppose we're going to have to get the right team today. So I think myself and Morgan need to choose our starting 11. And so can you. Help us out here. Certain players we just won't bother talking about. I don't.
What do you mean? I'm going in goal tonight.
You might as well, mate. You might as well. I mean, look, let's start with why don't we use this opportunity, because obviously we'll have conversations about the players that we're not sure of who are going to start, like the midfield 3. We all don't know, but why don't you use this opportunity, Morgan, just to say a few words about each of the players and how you feel as though they've done this season? And we'll start with our goalkeeper.
Travs, I think at the beginning of the season, I think everyone was calling that a loan would be the right move because obviously it did wonder for Rambo. But I think Travis has proven himself. Obviously, when Nyland came in, it maybe gave him a bit of a confidence boost to say, right, if I want that number 1 jersey, I know he's number 42, but if he wants the number 1 shirt to be in the team, he has to be performing at the back. And I think he pulled off quite a few marks the season. And I think at the moment, he deserves to have it.
Absolutely, yeah. Short and sweet, and I love that. And look, Adam Smith, unlikely to be included in this one. So, Jack Stacey's been doing really well of late. And that stat that suggests we don't concede when he is on the pitch is quite a powerful one. And, Scott Parker won't be ignorant of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the fact that obviously Smudger, at the beginning of the season, I think we were saying Smudge was obviously, I know he got injured and stuff, but we were saying it was always going to be between Stacey and Smudge. Now, I would have given it to Stacey from the beginning, if I'm honest with you. But I think when Stacey had that poor game, was at Peterborough away on the Wednesday night, I think him and Brooks came back in, and the Brooks is a bit different, but Stacey didn't perform well enough for my liking. So yeah, it was right. But no, since he's been back in, that alone, why would you take him out? It's working. We haven't conceded a goal. He's obviously doing something right. You keep him in. It's simple as that, really.
Gary Cahill, he drinks the yogurt, he drinks the vodka. Mate, what a signing. You know what, start of the season we were wondering, like, you know what, why are we signing a has-been? He's not a has-been, he's has-got right now. He's got all the attributes that we need. And also a bit of leadership as well. I know that Lloyd Kelly's the captain, but so many people, including Lloyd, are thriving off his experience. And that back line at the moment looks absolutely solid, doesn't it? Say a few words about Gary, mate.
Well, I'll say what a nice chap he is in person to begin with. When I went and met him, and mucked up my photo and had to re.
3 times, mate. That was. I mean, people have heard about this already. If you saw the vlog, it was you did allude to it at the end, but it was so funny because it was dark, so sometimes it's quite difficult to get the best photo quality when it's dark. But you were there like with your phone, and you said, can I have a quick picture? And then you did it, and then you walked away, and then you came back to us, and you looked at it. It's like, oh, it's really blurry. It's like, shall I go again? Like, yeah, God, he won't mind because he was waiting around. Yeah, Gary, can I have a picture? Like he comes back. It's too dark. It's almost like Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Like it's too hot, too cold, and then
but I didn't go
back.
third time. Tom gave me a restraining order.
Yeah, I know. Just like he's thinking, oh, do I do it again? But yeah, you know what though, absolutely quality guy.
I think to allude to Gary Cahill, the fact how well he's been doing this season, I think I've got to say when we first brought him in, I'll be totally honest, I was thinking really is this the right thing for AFC Bournemouth at the rebuild time, but he's been fantastic, and his partner in crime, Mr. Kelly, wow, covering him, they got a really, like, I don't know about you, I thought to get we should have definitely got CCV in, but Kelly and Cahill now, that partnership is so solid. You wouldn't change it for the world unless one of them are injured, and pray for God they're not. I think you just have to keep it. And Layla makes a good point. It'd be good to see Mepham get a chance. But at the moment, until maybe the FA Cup, I can't see that coming. I really can't. I don't know about you, Sam.
No, I know. And
unless we change formation maybe late on to games to try and bring the Pearson and the Mepham on to try and get the result. That might be the only option.
It sort of underlines the importance of having an FA Cup run, really, doesn't it? Or if there are matches where we're flying and we're like 3-0 up with half an hour to go, then maybe he should consider like bringing some players on to just to give them some minutes. Really, I know that there are people like Chris Mepham. There's an international break coming up in November. I think the second week of November or whatever, where he'll obviously feature.
The 12th.
That's right, where he'll feature for Wales. But other than that, not many club minutes. And it is a little bit of a concern that if anyone gets an injury, these players will effectively be cold. So I hope in training, the training is relatively intense, actually, so that if and when that they are called for, they're going to be up to speed because, we know how Gary Cahill, how good he is. And, the guy next to him, obviously so much confidence. And when he scored that goal in the last match against Huddersfield, you could see what an important part of the side he is. He may not be amazingly loud on the pitch, but he sort of leads by example. One of the things that I think he could lead by example a bit better with is his distribution. That's a story for another day. He's solid. He's fast. That time he covered for Gary Cahill after that slip was unbelievable. And look, he was also the person that pinged over that lofted pass to Solanke to chest and a takedown for him to get fouled. So he effectively was the assist on that goal for Dom Solanke's pen. But he then went and scored, and all of the players were absolutely loving it. They ran over to him. They went to the corner flag with him. Every single player with a smile on their face. He's obviously a really, big character in that team, isn't he?
Yeah, Lloyd, I think one word I use to sum up Lloyd is the maturity that he's shown. I think he's a very mature lad. He's still quite young. I think he's going to develop a lot better into, that's not to sound negative, I think he can improve in a couple of things. But I think he's a really mature lad. I think he leads the team by example. Obviously, probably not been ever, I don't know if he's ever captained before he started captaining. Obviously, I know he's only our captain on the pitch rather than off the pitch. But I think it's just nice to see Kelly maturing, and it was nice to see him get on the goal score sheet. I don't know about you, Sam. I'm sure you appreciated a goal in the back of your net at your end of the ground rather than down at my end.
Yeah, at last, thankfully we got one. And then look, Jordan Zamora. I mean, we've waxed lyrical about him enough. I think he's so good.
I think with Jay-Z, just to reiterate your point, yeah, he is really good. He chipped in with 4 goals, I think now. He worked so well with Jaden Anthony and Phil Bill. And I just can't improve. I thought against West Brom, not to be hypocritical, but I thought he was really quite poor for a bit of the game, but it takes time in football. You have to learn your position. He's come from the under 18, under 21, and now he's in the first team. It's different. It's different. You're playing against stronger opposition, not being really, not exactly the tallest of people. He's 5'6", whatever. But I think he's held his own, and I think he's a really physical lad going forward. So yeah, I really like Jay-Z, and I think when we lose him in January for the African Cup of Nations, it's a shame. It's good obviously for him to go and represent his country, but yeah, Leif Davies at all. Sam, do you want to come on to that?
Well, yeah. Will we see Leif Davies? Will we see him? I don't know, because we know that Robbie Brady can do a job there as well. So all remains to be seen, really. I genuinely don't know about that one, and that's a discussion maybe for another show, because it's he's made the position his own that you can't really see past him at the moment. Whereas in certain positions you can go, well, if Stacey's out, we'll bung Smith in there. If Gav Kilkenny's out, we'll bung Ben Pearson in there, that kind of thing. With that position, really don't know yet. So we will see. Right. In chat then, we've got 3 numbers here, 6, 7 and 8. I think I know what I would do for today's game, bearing in mind that we've got a midweek match at home against Preston coming up in the week. I think I know. And judging by the fact that Reading are very strong in midfield, that is where their threat is going to be today. So 6, 7, 8, who are you going for? Let us know. But Morgan, I'll let you decide, but I've got a funny feeling Pearson's going to come back in today.
I was just about to say exactly the same. I don't like the way that we have it's really annoying now. Well, it's not annoying, but it must be quite frustrating, because you've got people performing. I agree exactly what they're saying on chat, and I agree with what you're saying. In terms of Pearson, I think Pearson absolutely fantastic. I think he worked so well with the midfield 3, and I think you need that insurance. But they read and play through the midfield. So yeah, for me, it's got to be Pearson in 6.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, everyone on chat, nearly everyone is going for Ben Pearson there, because he just adds that bit of grit. And look, you can't play Gav Kilkenny all the time, and he's shown as Neil Dawson again, the person on this channel that makes more excellent points than everyone else put together, that he came back into the squad after being out, not even in the squad for a few games, and he applied himself with the same diligence and attitude and work rate that he did at the start of the season when he was so good. So there's no danger of him being out and sulking or whatever. Absolutely fine. And look,
I think he might use it as a bounce to kind of think, okay, can I thrive on, and can I keep going, and can I try and
100%,
make this position my own? And I think he's going to have to try and be quite good mentally and think, okay, Lewis Cook's coming back in well soon. Like, he's going to have competition, and that must be, for a youngster, that's what you need. Like, you don't just demand, and you don't just get a team on a 3 o'clock or an 8 o'clock or whatever time we kick off. You don't just get that your name put Gavin Kilkenny on the team sheet. You have to earn it, and that's through attitude, training, and showing the manager what you're all about. So yeah, for this game, it sounds really harsh, but it's going to be Pierce. But Gav Kilkenny will get an opportunity, I'm sure, again, because he's proven time and time again how good he can be.
And Jamie Williams there makes an excellent point. When Lewis Cook comes back, wow, even more decisions to make for Scott Parker. So 7 and 8, I'm pretty sure I know. The only thing that, as JK just said on Josh, that is on the chat there, you could have Christie playing in that position and then put Lowe out to the right. That could happen, but I think when you've got players with the quality of Lerma and Billing, I don't think you will drop them, right?
No, I can't see much more than playing. To be honest with you, Lerma a tank at any time in the game, and I wouldn't. If you're playing Pearson, you're playing Lerma, and unfortunately, because of our left-hand side, you've got to play Billing as well. It's not unfortunate; it's a brilliant thing, but because they link up so well, always you're changing the dynamic of the team. I actually thought Lowe did okay when I saw him play against Bristol City. I don't know about you, Sam. I thought he got his first goal for us, and I thought he put in a good performance for 60, 70 minutes. I think that's when he came off roughly. But that's another exciting option. If this game isn't going how Bournemouth want it, bring Lowe on, we could maybe, and then if we need to change it in many ways, we can. We've got the strength and the resources now, and that makes it exciting. And we can either control the game and win it quite comfortably, or we can bring up maybe Lowe on, and that might do something. He's a different player to Solanke, so it's exciting. But I think for now we'll have to go with Bill and Lerma and Pearson.
You can give me a few words on Jaden Anthony, mate, because I mean, there's no question over player 9 and 11, and to the extent now that we've picked the midfield 3, player 10 also decides itself as well. So talk about these front 3 that we're likely to see today. Then,
So Jaden Anthony, sensational. He's just brilliant. With Jay-Z and Phil Bell, as I alluded to, you can't. What I think you can't do now is the fact that Jaden Anthony is he scored a few goals. That goal against Birmingham was fantastic. Do you remember, Sam, where he bent it
really
into
good.
the top bin of the goal? Like, I think just with Anthony's development, I'll talk about maturity as well, and that goes for Kilkenny as well as Jay-Z, because they're coming from the development squad into this team, men's football at a professional level. It's difficult. It must be so tough to come in and do what they're doing. And they look like they've been here for quite a long time, to be honest. They don't look new. They don't look nervous. They seem fine. I don't. And then obviously on the right, you got already put them in. Christie again. Not far away. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets on the goal sheet today. He's got 7 or 8 assists already this season, and he just makes our other flank with Stacey. They got such a good link up already.
Yeah, absolutely. Simon makes a good point. It's saying that Lerma he thought looked a little bit tired, which, yeah, you could argue that, to be fair. So he says back with Gavin Wednesday, but Christie inside and then Lowe outside. That's what I'm presuming that he's going for. So yeah, very interesting. Yeah, it is. It is.
And I think I think the only thing that I think Lerma will definitely start in. Well, I don't know exactly, but I gather he will. He did come off. I think he came off like 60, 70 minutes in our last game. So I would assume, because he didn't play the 90, and I know he got a lot of travelling with South America and whatever, I think he will definitely be. But that is a good point. That could happen. We don't know, do we, until 7:45 or whatever.
Love that comment. Love that. Cheers, James. And then up front, Dom Solanke. I mean, his work rate, and he's getting better. Some of his goals are even more clinical as well, and he's slowly turning into the all-round striker. And he's looking great for us at the moment. And the fear is there's fear when certain players might be injured, and he's definitely one of them, isn't he? Oh,
yeah, I think Neil Dawson again. This is turning into the Neil Dawson show because of how many times we mentioned, but he makes so many good points. You've got to bring them up. I think Neil said on the second look last week that you had to, in January, we're going to have to sign another centre forward or striker for whom, if Solanke does, get injured, or for the last 20 games we lose him or whatever, that will score goal, because that could be the decider we go back up or not. And I think what I would like to say about Solanke is that a lot of people have criticised him, and I thought that he would never turn as good as he has. And he that penalty, as you guys spoke about on the show on the second look as well, was so comfortably. He didn't even look where the ball was. He just put it in that corner.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. And he's got so much confidence. And by every goal you score as a striker, you're on cloud 9, aren't you? And it's just. I think Solanke is just going to time and time again. And I back him again to get another couple. I think someone said a break. I wouldn't be surprised, because he's just in such good form. And the only last point you've got to make on Solanke is he works so hard at pressing that ball. And sometimes in the Championship, you're playing against 2 massive centre-halves and you think, you're isolated up there. And that's going to happen in football. But I think he works so hard to press that ball back. And there have been a few games where the opposition have given it away and he's pressed it hard. So, yeah, no, absolutely. Sam.
We got a 3-0 there. Jasmine said 3-0 there. Up the Cherries in all departments. Well, Morgan, if you work as well in retail as you do talk football, they would be silly not to be employing you today. Best wishes with the interview, mate. Can we have some good lucks for Morgan in the chat, please? Would be really good to get some good lucks for him, because he's got an interview at 12:30, and you know what, mate, then hopefully you can celebrate a good interview by celebrating 3 points again tonight. Thanks so much for your company today, Morgan. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to go and set up the red carpet for you for when you arrive at Reading.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. Right, okay. If you want to support us, these are the ways. You know how to do it. The Ko-fi monthly donators, honestly, that really helps us out a lot and helps us to cover the matches with the, in inverted commas, quality that we do. Hopefully you enjoy it anyway. And also anyone that is on the monthly list can also be on our WhatsApp group. It's actually Telegram, similar type of thing, but we've got a discussion group on there where we sometimes put some exclusive first look at our YouTube content as well. If you want to provide some anonymous feedback, you can do so. That's the link to go to afcbpodcast.com/feedback. If you want to be one of the legends, by the way, that's the link there at the bottom of the screen. It's afcbpodcast.com/coffee. What are people saying then? What are people saying? Good luck, says John, Chris, Aaron, Paul Kenwood, Rich Neal. Of course you're the best candidate. Go get it. Go smash it. Ben, good luck. I mean, look at this. Smash it, Morgan. I think you will. James McCaffrey, absolutely love it. Lots of people showing the Morgan love, including also Mike, Liam as well. And as Heather says, don't forget to hit the like button as well. Morgan, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for your company today, buddy.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks very much, boss. And up the Cherries, and we'll see you in Reading.
We will do. See you at Reading.